Good morning, everyone. Today, our lesson will be about decimal place value. Please download all the attached resources. Open your student book, page 628. If you don't have the book, you can find it in the attachments. Open your notebook, a new page, write the date, title, and follow the instructions with me, please. Today our objective is to be able to read and write decimal and word, standard and expanded forms. We're gonna find what are decimals, how to read decimals, how to write decimals in standard word and expanded form. Then we're gonna solve the questions from the book. Now, let's warm up. Standard, expanded and word form, they are not new. We took it in the beginning of this year. So the first number, how do we read it? It's the word form, 8,264. How it's written using numbers? It's standard form. So we write the standard form using numbers. Word form is how do we read it? Using words. Expanded form using values. We add the values together. So the first one, 8,000 plus 200 plus 60 plus 4. Now tell the value of the red digit of each number. The first one will be, yes, 200. The second one, 7,000. The third, 20. Excellent. Now, ways to represent decimals. We have the grids. And if you remember, how do we read this or how do we write it first? Using numbers. It's called standard form. So we write 1 as a whole, 25 hundredths. 1 as a whole and 25 hundredths. Standard form means that we write it using numbers. Word form, how do we read it? Using words. 1 and 25 hundredths. The third way, expanded form, which is using values added together. 1 plus 2 tenths plus 5 hundredths. Now, how do we write the word form for the following? 36 and 1. Let's see how do we read it. We said instead of the decimal point we write and we divide the number into two sections. The first one to the left of the decimal point, which is the whole. The second part, which is to the right of the decimal point, which is the parts. So here, how do we read this part? We read it 36. It's a whole, nothing new. Instead of the decimal point, we write and. Then, how do we read this number? We read it 1. Now, after the 1, I should write if it is tenths or hundredths. How do I know? We count 1, 2. When I have 2 digits beside the decimal point, it means that I have hundredths. Don't forget, THS is the most important. Let's try the second one. We have 2 parts. We start from the left. 2. Instead of the decimal point, excellent. And then 5. This 5, how many digits is it? 1 to the right of the decimal point. So it's 5 tenths. Here, 6 and 38. 38 what? Amazing. Hundredths, because I have 2 digits. Amazing, class. Now, if I want to write the standard form for the word form, I have 19 and 73 hundredths, 20 and 8 hundredths, 11 and 2 tenths. I use to write dashes. In grade 4, you're gonna use just 2 digits before the decimal point, then decimal point, then 2 digits after the decimal point. In grade 4, just you're gonna take these. So put 4 dashes, 2 dashes to the left of the decimal point, 2 dashes to the right of the decimal point. Now, and what do we mean by and? We mean decimal point. So we divided the number now into 2 sections. What's before and? We have 19. Come and write it to the left of the decimal point as you know. Then 73 to the right of the decimal point, so I'm gonna write it over here. Hundredths, is it 2 digits? Yes. So is my answer correct? Yes. Let's try here. We're gonna put 4 dashes. We're gonna start to the left of and. What do we have? We have 20. To the right of and, what do we have? We have 8 hundredths. So I should have 2 digits and I should write 8 over here. Why didn't I write it over here? Because it's 8 hundredths. Can I leave this empty? No, of course. I'm gonna put 0. So 20 and 8 hundredths. Now let's try this. 4 dashes. 11, which is to the left of and. 11 and 2 tenths. So do I need this? No, because just 2 tenths, which is 1 digit. So this is the number 11 and 2 tenths. Let's check our answers. Excellent. And 11 and 2 tenths. Now, decimal place value and value. What do we mean by place value? It's the name of the place that the digit is located in written by words. Now, look, the place value and the value. You can differentiate between them. The place value from its name, place. So I need the place, where is it located? Value is the standard form of the digit written in numbers. Is it clear? Okay, so let's start the first one. To the left of the decimal point, we said that we have just whole numbers. So 3 in the first one, which is 30 as a value. The place value is tens. The place value is tens. The second one, 39 and 58 hundredths. So 9, the place value for 9 is ones. The value for 9 is 9 because it's ones. Now, 39 and 58 hundredths. 5, the place value for 5 is tenths because it's to the right of the decimal point and it's a part of a whole, so it's tenths. The value, we write it as it is. Instead of the whole, we write 0, then we write 5. The last one, 8, the place value is hundredths. Now, instead of the whole number, we write 0, and instead of the 5, we write 0, then we write 8. So we read it 8 hundredths. Let's try these to understand more. We have the first one, which is 5 and 56 hundredths. If we want to write the value of 5, we write instead of the whole 0, decimal point, and 5 we write it as it is. Do we care about 6? No, it's not important. B, instead of 36, we're gonna write 0, decimal point. Instead of 5, we write 0 also, then 7. So if we read the value, it's 7 hundredths. Here, it's to the left of the decimal point, so it is what? A whole. Excellent. So 25. So what's the value? 20. Here, the value of 0. Does the 0 have any value? No. 0. 2. Now, let's check the value. 5 tenths, 720, 0. If I ask you about D, what's the place value of the 0? It's ones, but the value 0 because 0 doesn't have any value. Now, what do we mean by expanded form? Let's remember. The value for 1 is 10. The value for 7 is 7. The value of 2 is 2/10. The value of 9 is 9/100. Add them together. This is the expanded form. It's how we write the value for each digit in the number, then add them. Let's try these. 2 and 58/100. What's the value for 2? 2. What's the value for 5? 5/10. What's the value for 8? 8/100. Add them, please. It's the expanded form. Easy. Let's try B. What's the value for 30? For 3? 30 plus 6. Now let's go to the part of the decimal. 7/10 plus 1/100. So we start from the left to the right, writing the value for each number. Here, 40 plus. If you want to write the 0, it's okay. Then we go to the decimal, 9/10 plus 6/100. Is it clear? How do we write the expanded form? We write the value for each digit in the number, then add them. Let's check them over here. Values added to each other. Now, if we want to write the standard form for the expanded, we also use to write dashes. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, 20, is it whole or part? No, it's a whole. Excellent. So we write 2 over here. We don't write 20. Remember, we just write the number. We don't write zeros. 6 as a ones, we write it over here. Now we started by parts, so we should go here. 5, how do we read it? It's 5/10. And you know that this is the 10th digit, and this is the 100th digit. So 5, it's supposed to be here. And 3 supposed to be in the hundredths because it's 3/100. So it's 3. How do we read it? 26 and 53/100. Try to make B. Now we have 8. 8 is ones, so it's supposed to be over here. Now 0. Then 6/100. Where should I put 6/100? In the 100th place value, which is here. Can I leave this empty? No, of course. I should put 0. If I leave this empty, no matter because it's a whole. So we read it as 8 and 6/100. Let's go here. We have 10. Here is the tens. Ones, tenths, hundredths. So tens, we have 1. 2/10, it should be here. 3/100, it should be here. Can I leave a digit in the middle empty? No. Now how do I read it? 10 and 23/100. Is it clear? Excellent. Look. Now open your notebook. Let's solve the questions from page 629. Check your answers. Write each number in standard form. Now please, thank you so much for your watching. You can start with your homework. Please follow the link to do your homework. Again, follow the link to do your homework. I'm waiting for your homework on this link. Have a nice day.